Hey everybody, welcome back to Bakes by Vasco. I'm Michelle with 1L. Now that Pride Month is over, summer is in full swing, and that means barbecues and all the fun stuff that goes with it. With the 4th of July coming up, I thought we'd bake something today for that. Onion butter hamburger buns for our 4th of July backyard barbecue. What you're going to need for today's bake is 3/4 cups of warm water, 1 3/4 teaspoons active dry yeast, 3 tablespoons granulated sugar, 4 tablespoons olive oil, 1 large egg at room temperature, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 2 to 2 1/4 cups unbleached all-purpose flour, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of Fire and Smoke Society onion butter blend. Now the first step that you're going to make is your flour, your onion butter, and your salt all in one bowl. Whisk it together. And then just set that off to the side. Then the next thing you want to do is mix your 3/4 cups warm water and your 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar in the bowl of your stand mixer, which you're going to fit with your dough hook attachment. Then you will sprinkle your 1 3/4 teaspoons active dry yeast across the top and let that get foamy. You want this to become foamy. That will indicate that your yeast is active. Now that your yeast, sugar, and water has become foamy, we're going to add your egg and your oil. And whisk it up. And now that that's combined and you can smell the yeast, we're going to add our flour mixture, starting with the first 2 cups. All right. Again, using a dough hook, we're going to mix on low. And you'll just let that mix until it's all combined. As you can see, there's quite a bit of flour sticking to the sides, so I'm going to stop it and scrape down the sides so that it all has a chance to get mixed in there together. And at this point, we'll go ahead and add a little bit more of the last 1/4 cup. About half of that. And mix it again on low. And now that all that's incorporated, we'll add the last of the flour. Alrighty. As you can see, the dough is just a little bit too sticky. It's come together, but it's still sticking to the bowl. So you want to add about another 1/4 cup of unbleached all-purpose flour in there and let it mix on low. Because you want the dough to be slightly tacky, but not overly sticky so you can't handle it. The dough is pulling away from the bowl, so it is now ready to be transferred. And that's the consistency that you want. It is sticky, but workable. As you can see here, I have a bowl that I have lightly greased with a few drops of olive oil on my fingertips and just rubbed it around. And then you're going to take your freshly kneaded out dough, roll it into a nice little ball there, and just toss it down in your bowl and turn it over once so both sides get coated. Then you'll cover that in plastic wrap and you'll sit it out of don't put it in any cold drafts, and let it proof for 1 hour. Alrighty everybody, it has been an hour and our dough has proofed to twice its size. So now we want to lightly flour a surface here. I've got my sill mat out and we're going to dump it out onto that so that we can punch it down. Now we're going to take and divide this into 6 pieces that we're going to roll into round buns. Take your next batch and knead it, roll it into a nice little ball. And then you just repeat that until you get 6. Now that you've got them all into rounds, you will set them on a parchment-lined baking sheet, leaving enough room between them to spread and puff up. Then you will cover that with a clean towel and let it rise for 20 minutes. While that is rising, you will preheat your oven to 375 degrees. All right, our second proofing time of 20 minutes is done, and we have 6 pretty okay looking little balls there. They don't have to be perfect because my family's not perfect. But what you want to do next is you have 1 egg yolk with a little bit of water, and we're just going to take, and this is an egg wash, and just brush the top of each one. And what this does is helps give them their golden brown color and their sheen, make them shiny. And for a little extra, we're going to take some of our Fire and Smoke brand onion butter shake and sprinkle a little on the top of each. Because my motto is everything's better with sprinkles, and this is a savory sprinkle. There you go. Now these are ready for the oven. 375 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. Stick them in there on the center rack. And set our little ticky timer for 8 minutes. We'll check them in a minute. All right, we checked them at our 8-minute when we set the timer originally, but they needed the full 12, so we let them go for 12 minutes at 375 degrees, and they're ready to come out of the oven. We'll go ahead and let them sit on that pan for a few seconds to settle, and then we'll move them to a wire rack to cool. All right, they settled and have been moved to the cooling rack now. Be careful, unless you have asbestos fingers when you transfer them. They smell absolutely amazing. And now for the taste test. We'll take this little wonky guy. Nothing better than warm bread. Perfect. Stick around and see what we do with them. My husband, the master of hot coals, and our burger meister Burger. Pardon the traffic. We live on a busy interstate or county highway. This is just 80% lean ground beef that we seasoned with some Famous Dave's steak and burger seasoning, a little pepper, a little extra garlic powder, and a little bit of onion powder. Woohoo! Reminds me of just a week ago we were up in the Northwoods camping at a beautiful private secluded spot. It wasn't private, it's in the Nicolet National Forest, but it's secluded. Had some hot dogs on the grill and some brats on the over the campfire grill. So I got a confession to make. For all the wonderful dishes that I can come up with and create and cook and bake, making an actual hamburger patty is kind of a challenge for me to get it to stick together. My husband has to school me.
I spent many years working in pizza joints and had to make burgers and pizzas and chickens and other stuff quite often. So I actually make a hell of a pizza. We have to make a pizza crust and pizza video.
Yeah, we have to do that. He does make an awesome pizza. If you haven't already, hop on over to Island City Fishing and like and subscribe and watch my other half
fish
and grill here on Bakes by Vasco. And if you would like and subscribe my channel, I would really appreciate that too. Beautiful, beautiful, nice and charcoal burgers.
I think they're pretty close to done.
Yeah, I think we're ready to throw those buns up there and get a little char on them. And then we'll dress them and serve them up. Once again, the brand of onion butter seasoning I used is Fire and Smoke Society. And I wish I can remember where I picked it up, but I don't. Because anywhere we go, we always look for different seasonings and yummy things. So I hope that you'll all have a safe and happy 4th of July. Get to see some fireworks. Keep all of your fingers if you're setting any off. And maybe try this onion butter hamburger bun recipe for your own backyard barbecue fun. Once again, everybody, I'm Michelle with 1L, and this is Bakes by Vasco, and thank you for tuning in to watch us make onion butter hamburger buns and grill the burgers to go with them. I hope you'll have a very happy and safe 4th of July, and we'll see you next time. As always, the best part of cooking or baking is the eating.
I think there's mustard on the floor.
I think this tastes fabulous. Bye, everybody.